Ever feel like you're running a marathon but on a treadmill?
Oh, totally.
You're giving it your all, pushing yourself to the limit, but you're not actually getting anywhere.
Ugh, I know that feeling.
Let's talk about why that is. And let's get real. The system, in a lot of ways, is designed to keep you stuck.
It's like you're on this giant chessboard, right? But here's the thing. You weren't taught the rules.
Yeah.
You were just kind of thrown into the game. And those at the top, the ones calling the shots, they're not exactly handing out the rule books.
So you're telling me it's not just about working hard. There's this whole other game being played that most of us aren't even aware of.
Exactly. Think about it this way. If you were already winning, would you make it easy for others to take your spot? The system is set up to protect those in power.
Right.
And that means making it harder for others to climb the ladder.
Okay, so no one's coming to save us.
Yeah.
No fairy godmother, no government program, no lucky lottery ticket.
Nope.
That's a bit harsh, but also kind of liberating, don't you think?
It is a wake-up call. It means we can't sit around waiting for things to change. We have to create our own opportunities, our own paths to success, even if that means bending the rules a bit.
So how do we even begin to do that? If the system is this massive, complex machine, where do we find the leverage points?
It starts with understanding that hard work alone isn't always enough. You need leverage. I had this friend, Sarah.
Okay.
She was the definition of a rock star employee. She was pulling crazy hours, going above and beyond, exceeding expectations.
Wow.
So naturally, she went to her boss for a raise. What do you think happened?
Well, let me guess, her boss patted her on the head and said, "You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work."
Pretty much. Her boss actually said, "Why would I pay you more when you're already doing all of this for your current salary?"
Ouch.
Sarah was devastated. She realized that in this game, it's not just about working hard, it's about understanding the rules and creating your own leverage.
So it's like a zero-sum game. For someone to win, someone else has to lose. And those at the top, they're playing to win, not to share the pie.
Yeah. You're getting it. It's about understanding the power dynamics at play. It's about recognizing that the system isn't designed to be fair.
Right.
It's designed to maintain the status quo.
So if we're not going to wait around for a miracle,
Mm-hmm.
how do we start playing this game differently?
Mm-hmm.
How do we build our own ladder to success?
We stop waiting for permission and we start creating our own opportunities. And that starts with taking a good hard look at what we already have.
Sure.
What are your skills, your passions, your network?
Okay.
Even if they seem small or insignificant, those are your building blocks.
It's about turning what you have into something that can give you an edge, right?
Mm,
Finding those hidden gems and polishing them until they shine.
exactly. And here's the thing. You don't have to do this alone.
Yeah.
Building alliances is crucial.
Okay.
Find your tribe, your people, the ones who get it, the ones who are ready to challenge the status quo. Because when you come together, when you support each other, you become a force to be reckoned with.
Strength in numbers, right? The system might try to isolate us, but when we connect and collaborate, we become unstoppable.
Absolutely. And never underestimate the power of relentless self-improvement.
Yeah.
The more you learn, the more you grow,
Okay.
the more valuable you become.
Yeah.
The system might not hand you opportunities, but it can't stop you from becoming so damn good that they can't ignore you.
It's like building your own ladder, rung by rung. But we can't afford to wait for the perfect moment to start building right.
Time is not a luxury most of us have. The longer you wait, the more entrenched those at the top become.
Right.
Think of it like this: every day you don't take action is another day the system is working against you. Another day lost in building your future.
So no more excuses. No more waiting for permission or the stars to align. We are the architects of our own destinies.
Yes.
And the time to start building is now.
Yeah, it's like this giant clock ticking in the background, reminding us that the system isn't going to slow down for anyone.
Yeah.
If we're not actively pushing forward, we're falling behind.
And it's not just about getting ahead in some traditional sense. It's about taking back control.
Yeah.
About having the power to shape our own lives instead of letting the system dictate our every move.
Exactly. It's about refusing to be a pawn in someone else's game.
Right.
It's about saying, I see your rigged rules and I'm choosing to write my own.
But let's be real, that's easier said than done.
Oh, for sure.
These systems, these power structures, they've been in place for generations. How do we even begin to dismantle those invisible walls that keep so many of us trapped?
We might not be able to tear the whole thing down overnight.
Right.
But remember that ladder we talked about?
Yeah.
Every skill we learn, every connection we make, every risk we take, that's another rung on that ladder,
Okay.
bringing us closer to freedom.
So it's about chipping away at it bit by bit.
Yeah.
Focusing on the things we can control, the actions we can take today to create a better tomorrow?
It's about shifting our mindset from one of helplessness to one of radical self-reliance.
Mm.
We can't wait for permission or handouts. We have to become the architects of our own destinies.
You mentioned understanding the rules of the game earlier.
Yeah.
Can you break that down a bit more? What does it actually look like to play the game differently?
It starts with recognizing that the rules were designed to benefit those who created them.
Okay.
So playing by those rules often keeps you stuck in the same cycle.
Right.
To break free, you have to find ways to bend the rules, to create your own opportunities, to use your resources in unexpected ways.
So it's not about cheating the system. It's about outsmarting it,
Yeah.
finding those loopholes, those cracks in the foundation, and using them to your advantage.
Exactly. For example, let's say you're trying to break into an industry that's dominated by a few big players.
Okay.
Instead of trying to compete with them head on, maybe you find a niche they've overlooked. Or you use your unique skills to offer a service that disrupts the traditional way of doing things.
It's like finding that hidden trail that leads to the summit while everyone else is stuck on the crowded, well-worn path.
Sometimes that alternative path might even mean creating your own game altogether. Starting your own business, building your own platform, creating your own community. It's about recognizing that you don't need permission to create something meaningful and impactful.
I love that. It's like saying, hey, I don't need your validation. I'm going to build my own kingdom over here.
And you know what's amazing?
What?
When you start operating from that place of self-belief, of radical self-reliance, you attract others who are on the same wavelength. You build a tribe of like-minded individuals who are also ready to challenge the status quo.
So it's not just about individual success. It's about creating a ripple effect that empowers others to do the same.
That's where real change happens. It's not about tearing down the entire system. It's about building alternative systems,
Okay.
parallel structures that offer a different way of doing things, a different set of rules, a different vision for the future.
This idea of parallel structures, it's like creating a whole new ecosystem where success isn't measured by wealth and power, but by collaboration, innovation, and impact.
And within those parallel structures, we can redefine what success really means. It's not about climbing some corporate ladder or accumulating stuff.
Yeah.
It's about living a life that's true to your values, your passions, and your purpose.
So it's about reclaiming not just our economic power,
Yeah.
but our spiritual power, our creative power,
Yeah.
our power to define what truly matters.
You got it. It's about recognizing that we are not cogs in a machine.
Right.
We are creators. We are innovators. We are the ones who have the power to shape our own destinies.
This is such a powerful shift in perspective.
It is.
But it also takes a lot of courage, right?
It does.
To step outside the familiar, the comfortable, and embrace the unknown.
It takes courage to challenge the status quo, to go against the grain. But the rewards are immense.
Yeah.
Because when you play by your own rules, you unlock a level of freedom and fulfillment that the system could never offer.
If we could send one message to our listeners today, what would it be?
The system might be rigged, but it doesn't have to define you. You have the power to rewrite the rules, to create your own opportunities, to build a future that aligns with your values and your vision. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for someone to save you. Start today.
Start today. Love it. But where do we even begin? What's one small, tangible action our listeners can take right now to get moving in the right direction?
Take an honest look at your skills, your passions, and resources. What are you good at? What lights you up? What do you have that you can leverage? Don't underestimate the power of even seemingly small things. The key is to identify your strengths and find creative ways to apply them.
So it's not about waiting for that perfect opportunity to fall into our lap. It's about making something happen with what we already have.
And don't be afraid to experiment. Try new things. Explore different paths. Step outside your comfort zone. The more you experiment, the more you'll discover what works for you and what doesn't.
You've mentioned the importance of community a few times. What are your thoughts on how to find your tribe?
Look for people who are passionate about creating change. You can find them in online communities, local groups, workshops, or even by striking up conversations with people you admire. Be open to connecting with others and building relationships based on shared values and goals.
What about those times when we feel overwhelmed or discouraged?
Oh, yeah.
How do we stay motivated when things get tough?
Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Lean on your support system, seek guidance from mentors, find inspiration in the stories of others who've overcome challenges. And never lose sight of your why. Why are you doing this? What's the bigger vision driving you forward? Connecting with your purpose fuels your motivation and resilience.
It's about aligning our actions with our values, our passions, and our vision for a better future, and not just chasing some arbitrary goal.
Exactly. When you're aligned, you unlock a level of energy and creativity that's simply not possible when you're trying to fit into a system that wasn't built for you to thrive.
This has been an incredible conversation. We've covered a lot of ground, from the rig system to the power of self-reliance and community. Before we wrap up part 2, any final thoughts for our listeners? Welcome back to part 3 of our deep dive. We've talked about how the system can feel rigged, the importance of self-reliance, and the power of finding your tribe. Now let's get even more practical. How do we navigate this game and actually build a life we love on our own terms?
One of the most powerful things you can do is focus on developing high-income skills.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about going back to school for another degree.
Yeah.
This is about getting laser-focused on skills that are in high demand right now in the real world.
So even if the playing field is tilted, your skills become your bargaining chip.
Exactly. Think about it. If you have a skill that businesses or people are willing to pay top dollar for,
Right.
you have the power to set your own price. Your background, your credentials, they become less important.
This ties into the idea of creating your own opportunities, right? Instead of waiting for someone to give you a chance, you become so valuable that opportunities come to you.
Right on. And this is where entrepreneurship comes in.
Okay.
When you have high-income skills, you have the option of working for yourself, setting your own rates, and building a business that aligns with your values.
I think a lot of people hear entrepreneurship and get intimidated,
Oh, yeah.
especially when the system seems to favor big companies.
Huh.
What would you say to someone who's thinking about taking that leap but is scared of the risks?
First, you don't have to quit your job tomorrow and go all in. You can start small, maybe as a side hustle while you're still working your 9 to 5.
Right.
This lets you test the waters, build your skills, and gain experience without putting all your eggs in one basket.
It's like dipping your toes in before you jump into the deep end.
Exactly. And find your people. Connect with other entrepreneurs. Join online forums. Seek out mentors who have already been there and done that.
Yeah.
Having a support system makes a huge difference, especially when things get tough.
So it's not just about having the skills. It's about having the right mindset, the support, and being okay with the fact that entrepreneurship is a roller coaster.
Entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, that's for sure. It takes resilience, adaptability, and a hunger to constantly learn and grow. But for those who are willing to embrace the challenge, the rewards are incredible. You can create a life of freedom, purpose, and financial independence.
And even if someone isn't ready to start their own business, having those in-demand skills still gives them an advantage in the job market.
Absolutely. In today's world, employers are desperate for people who have specialized skills that can help them stay ahead of the game.
Right.
If you have those skills, you have more power to negotiate a higher salary, get promotions, and even switch careers more easily.
It's like having a superpower in your back pocket. No matter what industry you're in, high-income skills give you leverage.
Here's another game changer. Create multiple streams of income. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Explore different ways to generate income, whether it's freelancing, investing, creating digital products, or even turning your hobbies into side hustles.
So if one income stream dries up, you have others to fall back on. It's like building a safety net in a system that often feels very unstable.
That's the idea. And having multiple streams of income gives you flexibility and control over your time.
Right.
You're not tied to a single employer. You get to choose how you work, when you work, and how much you earn.
It's like we were saying before, create your own game. You don't have to play by the rules of the traditional job market. You can build your own income-generating ecosystem.
That's exactly it. And when you have multiple income streams, you're less dependent on the system. You have more options, more leverage, and more freedom to chase your dreams and build the life you want.
This has been such a powerful conversation. It feels like we've given our listeners a roadmap for not just surviving, but thriving in a world that can feel designed to hold us back.
And remember, this is a journey. It's not about reaching some magical destination. There will be setbacks, challenges, and doubts along the way. But if you focus on developing those valuable skills, building multiple income streams, and finding your tribe, you can navigate the system and create a life that truly lights you up.
So to all of you listening out there, we challenge you. Take action. Start small. Start today. What's one skill you can learn? What's one income stream you can explore? What's one connection you can make? Every step, no matter how small, moves you closer to the life you deserve.
And remember, you're not alone in this. We're all in this together. Let's support each other, learn from each other, and create a world where everyone has the chance to thrive.
Such a great message. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back next time with more insights and conversations that will help you level up your life.
Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep creating the life you dream of.